Hey, how you doing? Welcome to this new episode, the Halloween special of Undercut Creepypastas. Today we're gonna be looking at some bad stuff. What kind of bad stuff, you may be asking? Well, let me just tell you about the bad stuff we're gonna be looking at. I went outside and dug around where my dog takes shits, and while I was digging around in their turds, I found 2 closing logo pastas. Yeah, got a couple of forms of cancer that are mutating and forming together to make new mutations of cancer. It's also making this a double feature, bitches. So sit back and enjoy these 2 really bad creepypastas. Enjoy. Hi everyone, Zachary here. If you're reading this, then I'm probably locked up in my room with a flashlight at 3 in the morning, terrified. You're probably wondering, why the hell are you this terrified? Well, the truth is, I had seen a long-lost PBS logo. It may sound a bit dumb and quite funny, but this logo actually freaked me the fuck out, dude. I'm not even joking with you. It was horrible. Well, let's just start the story by saying I was on YouTube watching some PBS logos from the 70s with my brother Neil. Neil liked the PBS 1971 logo because he thought that the head in the form of a P, commonly known as P-head, haha, was really cool, along with the oddly geometric B and S, just like this pasta and any logos that people commonly think are scary, BS. So I searched up some PBS logos from 1971, but then came across a video called The Lost PBS Logo. Now, I made a huge mistake by clicking the video. I would never do that again. It began with the ending credits of some old show from 1970. The last of those credits lasted for 12 seconds. It says second, they meant to type S but didn't proofread, before fading out into black. Then it cut to the PBS 1971 logo, but it was in poor quality and the sound was replaced with ominous whistling in the static. Then it faded to black once again, but lasted for 22.5 seconds. Then it cut to a disturbing picture of P-head. He had red eyes with blood coming out of them. He said, "This is not PBS." He ate the camera. Oh, we're getting into some of that shitty voice shit now. That's a whole nother layer of cringe right there. Then it showed a B/W, I'm going to assume that means black and white, B/WP head with blood. There was text above him that said, "You're next." When I put down my laptop, Neil was gone, but eventually I found Neil in his room with a fever. His head was really, really hot. The video was automatically deleted right after I watched it, so I couldn't load the video back up, no matter how hard that I tried. A few hours after I'd watched it, I received a note from the mailman. It said, "Hello. If you are reading this, Zachary, then I want to let you know that you had offended me by deleting the video. I wish I wouldn't have to resort to violence, but I have no choice. Goodbye. P.S. I know where you live." I assume all of you have heard of Dan Curtis Productions. If not, let me tell you. It's a company created by a man named Dan Curtis that made such movies and TV shows such as Dark Shadows, Bram Stoker's Dracula, and most famous, The Norliss Tapes. However, it wasn't the movies that made this company famous. It was their logo. I remember seeing it on YouTube. I had nightmares for weeks. It's a man, the camera is zoomed in on his bloodshot eyes, with really creepy music playing. I thought it was the worst logo they ever made until I found out about the Lost logo. Last Monday, I had gotten an email from an anonymous person. Curious to see if it's spam, I opened it. Here's what it said. DanCurtisProductions.mp4. For your own good, never watch it. Reshare this with 2 of your friends, or the monster will get you. I knew the email was bullshit, so I deleted it. But I was a bit curious to see if it was real, so I hopped onto Snopes.com and looked it up. I expected it to say false, but surprisingly, it was undetermined. This is what the article read. DanCurtisProductions.mp4. Undetermined. Staff at Snopes.com gathered 3 people who had claimed to watch this video. But the only things that they would say were, "The eyes. Make them go away." And, "Dan, how could you do this?" I was going to leave it a mystery, but curiosity got the better of me. I went back on Google and searched for DanCurtisProductions.mp4. I found nothing, and when I was going to give up, I found a website titled www.haildan.exe.org. I clicked on it, and the only thing on the entire page was a MediaFire download link for a video called DCP.mp4. I clicked the button, and it downloaded in about 1 minute. When it finished, I opened it up and clicked play. But let me tell you, if I had a chance to go back in time and prevent myself from watching this video, I would. Oh, here we go. We got those. Oh, if I could go back and stop myself from doing this very regrettable thing that I very much regret doing, I would. Cliché. The video started with just static, nothing else. After 3 minutes, there was a really loud white noise, and the static disappeared. It cut to what appeared to be a very bad quality version of the final scene in the movie The Norliss Tapes, except there was no music, making it even more creepy. However, right before I could finish zooming in on the man's eyes, the screen cut to black again. This time, the black screen lasted for 2 minutes, but a weird voice that sounded like the horror demon, whatever the fuck that is, was whispering the whole time. Then the static came back. This time, however, there was a video hidden in it. It was an old man, somewhere in his 70s, holding a giant butcher knife, slicing up a 12-year-old girl like she was a catfish. She was screaming really loud for about another minute, then she stopped. That's when the man started slicing off her arms and legs, causing blood to squirt everywhere. I was ready to hurl all over the place. After what felt like 25 minutes, the old man stopped cutting the girl, looked right at the camera, and yelled in a demonic-like voice, "Intruder alert." The old man ripped off his skin to reveal a demon with 6 bloodshot eyes, wings, a tail, and a giant bloodied-up butcher knife. He looked at the camera and flew directly at it, but before he hit the screen, it went black again. After another 2 minutes of blackness, another video popped up. It appeared to be the guy from the actual Dan Curtis Productions logo, but he was facing backwards. After another solid minute, his head spun around like the Exorcist. His eyes were completely missing, leaving nothing but 2 gaping black holes. He was giving up an evil smile with his alligator-like teeth, and his nose was also gone, leaving another hole. He then opened his mouth, but right when he was about to say something, his forehead exploded, releasing hundreds of blood-soaked cockroaches and a pure red cobra. His eyes and nose also began to squirt out blood. This lasted for 15 seconds before the words, "Dan Curtis Productions" appeared. Then the screen went black one last time, and the video was over. I slowly got out of my chair and laid on top of my bed. I tried to comprehend what I had just watched, but it only loaded for a minute before my dog Daisy began barking like crazy. I figured a cat was outside, so I got up and walked to the living room, only to find Daisy barking at some man facing the wall. I asked him to leave my house at once, or I'll call the police. But that's when he faced me, and I quickly noticed it was Dan the monster. "Yes, sir. I am indeed Dan," the monster said in a demonic yet sort of like Morgan Freeman voice. His forehead exploded once more, and in less than a minute, there was a blood-red cobra and an army of cucarachas headed towards me. Daisy attacked the cobra, killing it off, and I quickly stepped on all the roaches. Dan quickly ran after me, so I pulled out a shotgun that was hanging on my wall and shot him 3 times, once in the head and twice in the heart, but it was no good. He was still trying to kill me. So I did the first thing that popped into my head and shot him in the eye. Surprisingly, he yelled in pain and fell on the floor. I then shot him in the other eye, which swiftly killed him off and caused him to explode. There was a mess of blood, bones, and guts all over my living room. "Shit, it'll take me a week to clean all this up," I said. My thoughts were once again interrupted by the doorbell. When I opened the door, The only thing there was a package. I brought it inside and opened it only to find the gosh darned bloodshot eye's head inside, which I quickly threw in the trash. I hope that's the end of Dan Curtis forever.